there again. Thank you so much for joining me in this mini course on how to make money with rental properties. And this is day number 2, and I want to thank you for joining us for the second day, because today we're going to be looking at some more in-depth analysis on how you can make money with rental properties. Now imagine if you had 15, 20, or 30 rental properties that made you $200 a month. That would change your life forever. So there are a couple of things I want you to remember: earned income and passive income. Earned income is where you work 1 hour and you get paid for that 1 hour of work. Passive income is totally different, where you work 1 hour and you continually get paid over and over and over again. It's so exciting. Now imagine you had replaced your earned income with passive income so that now you cannot work. You can choose to say, I quit my job, I'm out of here because I have money. I don't have to worry about my expenses anymore. I want to see you be able to quit your job with rental properties and have this passive income that can replace your earned income. And so follow along today as we look at how rental properties can make you money month after month after month. And then also we're going to look at the business processes that you're going to need to develop in order to have this be passive income and have little work on your shoulders. Everything from property managers to inspectors to realtors. There's so many different people that you need on your team that we're going to look at today. And so follow along. Let's jump right on and take a look at it.
All right, so let's get started. So this is the second part of our mini course in making money with rental properties. And so let's look at how we can achieve our financial freedom with rental properties and passive income. So the first step in achieving financial freedom is defining your goal. Second step is learning the numbers. Third step is learning the systems. And fourth is implement. And 5 is earn cash flow from those rental properties. So let's look at defining your goal. What is it that you want to achieve? What's your goal? Why do you want passive income? What is your objective in gaining financial freedom with passive income? Do you want to quit your job? Do you want to save for retirement? Is it wealth preservation? Maybe creating more wealth? Earning extra income for your family? So I know that my goal is to quit my job. I personally achieved that where I can quit my job with my passive income. I have already surpassed my income from my job with my passive income from my rental properties. So let's take a look at how you can do that. So let's just say your goal, like mine, is to quit your job. So the step number 1 is to find your target income. Remember in part 1, I had you go through the quick budget worksheet. And on that quick budget worksheet, you can see all your expenses. So that is a number that you need to keep in your mind as we look at passive income and how we can quit our job with rental properties. So along with the expenses that you currently have, you need to add in any other expenses that you might need. So if you're quitting your job, you may need to pay for your own health insurance if your employer is currently covering that. If you have any possible desires that you want to get in the future, maybe you want to remodel your house, maybe you want to buy a new car, maybe you want to buy a boat, maybe you need to take care of your family member because they're sick. What about any possible future investing you might want to do? Say you want to continually grow your business so that you have more and more income every single month. You need to save for that. What if you want to take a vacation once a year that costs $5,000 to $6,000? Well, you need to plan for that as well. So you need to total all these items, and that is the number you need to reach in order to quit your job. So first, find your target income that you need to attain. Step 2, choose your path to success. Now with rental properties, there's many different things that you can buy, but let's look at just these 2. So if you purchase a B or C quality single family home with a purchase price of $100,000, 3-bedroom, 2-bath, 2-car garage, 1,400 square feet, built after 1980, just a regular cookie cutter type home in a subdivision, it could rent for $1,100, expenses around $800, so your cash flow every single month, your rents minus your expenses, is $300. Likewise, so let's say you buy a C or D quality single family home. The purchase price is around $40,000. It's 3-bedroom, 2-bath, 2-car garage, 1,200 square feet, built after 1930, so it's a little older home. The rents are less because of the quality of the home, but let's look at how you can actually still make money. So the rents are $750. The expenses are $450, but after subtracting the expenses from the rents, your cash flow after your expenses are $300 as well. And so you have 2 different types of properties, but you have the same amount of cash flow. And so these numbers are completely doable. I know some people might say, hey, well, you can't find a house for $40,000, especially if you're living in California, or you can't find one for $100,000. I beg to differ. There are many, many places in the nation that you can find properties at this price that can rent for this. Step 3 is plan your escape from your job. Job is J-O-B, just over broke. You're barely making enough money to make ends meet. And so what we want to do is we want to plan our escape. So let's look at this scenario. Let's say your expenses are $3,800 a month that you need in order to live off of. You know, your rent, your food, your car payment, your gas bill, whatever it might be, all totaling up to $3,800. So to retire in 5 years with your expenses at $3,800, your yearly plan could look like this. Year 1, you buy one single-family home with $300 in monthly income. Year 2, you buy 2 single-family homes with $300 in monthly income. Year 3, you buy 3 properties. Year 4, you buy 4 more properties. Year 5, you buy 5 more single-family homes at $300 a month in income. And that's actually very doable. You might look at that and say, how am I going to be able to buy 1 the first year, then 2 the next year, then 3 the next year, then 4, then 5? I know some of you are thinking that that's not doable, that you can't buy that many properties. Well, trust me, it's very doable. I have actually done it. At year 5, I had 18 units that were bringing me cash flow every single month. It's very doable. You just need to learn the tools of the trade in order to help you to achieve this. So at year 5, you have 15 single-family homes with $300 a month coming in. $300 times 15, it would be $4,500 extra each month that would bring and put in your pocket. So how would your life change if you had $4,500 extra each month? Now remember, this is not a get-rich-quick scheme. This is something that you're going to work hard at, that's going to take time. You're not going to be rich overnight. Some people may tell you that you can be rich overnight. It's very well you could, but I find that's the exception. I've built my business from the ground up, learning as I went, and building a business that I currently make over $9,000 a month in passive income. So how would your life change if you had $4,500 extra each month and you only did that after 5 years? It's very doable. I think you can do it. So after defining your goal, the next step is to learn the numbers. Now, I want to show you guys 5 different ways that rental properties will make you money. The first way is net profit. That is the cash flow that comes in your pocket every single month from the rent minus the expenses. Second is equity capture. Third is appreciation. 4 is equity buildup, and 5 is tax advantages. And we'll look at each one of these in depth. So let's take a look at the example property. Remember, this is the general cookie cutter type property that we're going to be looking for. Your purchase price for a single family home would be $100,000. Down payment would be $10,000. Rents are $1,100. Expenses are $750 a month. And so this is the example property that we're going to be talking about. So all these numbers revolve around this property. Now, I know what you might be thinking. I don't have $10,000 for a down payment. Well, don't worry. There are ways we can work around that. There are plenty of ways to acquire properties without down payments that big. You could even have one as little as 3.5%. But it's not easy, and you're going to have to save money. So remember, this is not a get-rich-quick scheme. This is something that's going to take time, hard work, but in the end, it's going to pay off huge. So with this example property in mind, let's move on and let's look at the net profit cash flow. So net profit, which means your cash flow every single month, it's really simple. Step 1, total all your monthly rent. So however much money you bring in from that one property, total it all up. Step 2, subtract the expenses. That could be any insurance payments, that could be taxes, that could be utilities, that could be homeowners association fees, whatever expenses that come with the property, you need to total all those up and subtract that from the monthly rent. Step 3, subtract the mortgage payment from what's left over from the rents minus the expenses. And we'll look at the numbers in just a second, so don't worry if I'm going a little fast here. So once you get the monthly rent, subtract the expenses, subtract the mortgage, that equals the total monthly profit that you make. Now, from the profit, you look at multiplying that by 12 to get the yearly profit. So this is your cash flow monthly and yearly. Let's look at the specific numbers here. Rents are $1,100 a month. Expenses, $215 a month. Mortgage, $535 a month. Your total cash flow would be $350 a month. Imagine if you had $350 extra each month in your pocket. Now, multiply all that by 12, you have $4,200 extra each year in your pocket as income. Now, let's look at what type of rate of return. So the total invested is $10,000. Your total yearly income is $4,164. Now, the way to find the percentage ROI, return on investment, you take the total amount you made divided by how much you actually spent to buy the property. Remember, even though you bought it for $100,000, you only put $10,000 of your own money into the property. So 4,200 divided by 10,000 is 0.42, which is a 42% return on your investment in 1 year. Can you believe that? Let's move on. So equity capture. Equity capture is the amount of money that you make when you buy the property. So let's look at a couple points that you need to remember. So you make your money when you buy the property. You realize your money when you sell the property. So you make your money, which means you earned it there and then when you buy the property. But you realize, which means you actually put the money in your pocket when you sell the property. Or if you refinance the property and take the money out tax-free, which that's a whole nother ball of wax that is going to be a game changer for you in the future, trust me. So with this one single family home, you purchase it at $100,000, but the market value, because you bought it lower, the market value is $125,000. Your net equity capture is $25,000. So $25,000 divided by $10,000, the down payment you put in, is a 250% return on investment just from equity capture. Can you believe that? 250% return on investment. Crazy money being made in real estate. Next up is appreciation. Now, appreciation is the value of your property after repairs are done and you fixed it up and you've got it reappraised. So you purchase a property for $100,000. You fix it up for $15,000. Now remember, we already had the first appraised value as $125,000. But as we repair the property, we get it painted, we do landscaping, we maybe change the flooring out, or even just clean the carpets. We put $15,000 in the property. That's a total of $140,000 into the property from the appraised value and the cost of improvements. When you get it appraised, it'll be worth more money. Let's say, for example, it's worth $180,000 minus the appraised value of $125,000 and the cost of improvements of $15,000. So that is $180 minus $140, which is $40,000 forced up appreciation just by fixing up the property. That is a 400% return on investment because you take the $40,000 divided by $10,000 that you put in as a down payment equals a 400% return on investment. Crazy money being made in real estate. The next one, equity buildup. Now this one is where as the tenants pay your rent, you pay the mortgage company with those rents, and that mortgage payment goes towards the principal of the loan amount you just borrowed. Let's say, again, you purchased the property for $100,000. Your down payment was $10,000. So your initial loan amount is $90,000. Let's say after the entire year, the amount applied to the principal is $800, which means you've lowered the loan amount $800. So the principal is paid down by $800, and you put $10,000 in as a down payment. That's $800 that you brought the mortgage down, divided by $10,000 down payment is another 8% return on investment. That alone is probably going to beat most stocks in the stock market. So equity buildup basically is you're paying down the loan amount on your property by the tenant paying the rent. So they're the ones paying it. The last one in the 5 ways rental properties make you money is the tax advantages. Now, the tax advantages can vary depending on each person because some people may have a higher tax bracket than others. What I want you to remember is that your property goes up in value. We all know that. We see prices of homes go up and up and up. But the IRS, the Internal Revenue Service, who collects taxes, says in their code that your property actually depreciates in value. So they allow you as an investor to deduct the depreciation over 27 years to decrease your taxable income. On average, that's about 10% tax savings. So that's another way rental properties make you money by saving you on your taxes every single year. So that's another way that rental properties make you money just by saving you money on your taxes every single year. So let's recap. You have 5 ways that rental properties make you money: the net profit or the cash flow every single month, your equity capture, your appreciation, your equity buildup, and the tax advantages. Let's recap. Let's look at the numbers again. From your $10,000 down payment, Net cash flow is 42%. Your equity capture is 250%. Your forced appreciation was 470%. Your equity buildup is 8%, and your tax advantage on average is around 10%. That's a total first year return of 780%. Imagine putting $10,000 in the stock market and returning back 780% back. Crazy how much money you can make from rental properties. All right, now the third step is learning the systems of a rental property business. So the first step is to find a property. So how do you do that? Number one would be a multiple listing service, which is the MLS. That's where realtors list all the properties that they're trying to sell in one general list that all other realtors can look at. And you can get access to one of these lists through a realtor that can give you access to it, or you can look up online. There are some free ways to get into the MLS, but the MLS is going to have some very good deals. Some deals are not so good, some deals are great, but the MLS is a great place to start. Another one is www.craigslist.com. This is basically a for sale by owner site, but there also are some realtors that list on there as well. But you're going to find lots of properties that are not on the MLS on Craigslist.com. Another great place to find properties is www.zillow.com. Now they're going to pull from the multiple listing service, the MLS. Zillow is also going to advertise for people who are trying to sell their property. And Zillow is not just for finding properties. It's also able to tell you how much it's worth, how much rent you're going to be able to collect out of it, when was it last sold, how much the taxes are. It's going to give you so much data on this property, so you're going to be really well educated on the one particular property. Now, realtors, they are a fantastic way to find properties for you while you do not do any work, but they are doing all the work. So you get a realtor on your team looking for properties while you are doing whatever you want. They're the ones doing the work because they want to make a sale and get their commission. And so you are able to do whatever you want. Go on a vacation, go play with your kids, go up to the mountains, go skiing, go to the beach, whatever you want to do. They are still working, finding you deals. Another good way is finding wholesalers in your area. Those are basically non-realtors that find properties and then try to find investors to sell those properties to. And so if you find some wholesalers, they may have some good deals, they may have not. It's a great idea to have wholesalers on your team because they can find you some good deals. Legal notices like foreclosures, tax liens, all these legal notices that the government dictates that must be submitted for the general public to view. Classified ads that are in the newspaper, for sale by owners, or even listed properties. People still do use classified ads, or even direct mail. If you really want to get into building this business fast, direct mail is a great way to do that. The next step is running the numbers. So you need to locate a property. Once you've found that property, you need to find out how much it'll rent for. You can ask a realtor. You can find a property manager in your area that would know what the rents would be and ask him how much the rents would be. You also need to find out the estimated repairs needed to rent out the property. You need to figure all the expenses for the property each month, calculate the mortgage payment as well, the rent minus the expenses minus the mortgage, and that equals your total profit per month that goes into your pocket. The estimated amount of money that it needs for the repairs is for you when you purchase a property to make sure you don't overpay for the property. So because you want to make a good deal on the property, and you also want to factor in how much repairs it's going to need. So the next part of the system of building your business is finding your team members. So number one is your property manager. Your business is going to live and die off your property manager. If you get a good one, hold on to him as best you can. If you get a bad one, fire him as quickly as possible. I've had some bad property managers, and it's better to just cut bait and run. You don't want to have a bad property manager. Realtors are terrific. They work for you even though you're not working. They're going to find you properties. Home inspectors and roof inspectors and electrical and all these different types of inspectors are great people to have on your team because they are going to help you find out what you need to do to the property or if the property is not worth buying. Contractors are there to help you estimate what the total rehab is going to be. If there are problems with the building, the contractors are going to help you have a good understanding of how much the cost for repairs are going to be. Handymen are great people to have on your team too. There could be little projects that need to get done, or you could even have a toilet leak in the middle of the night and a handyman can run over there and fix it for cheaper than a contractor would. Title companies are great because they check to make sure that there's no liens against the property, there's no encumbrances, that the title's free and clear, so that when you get it in your name, so that when you buy the property, There's nothing that's going to come and surprise you. And so title companies help to make sure that your property's free and clear so that when you buy it, you can move right into rehabbing it and getting it rented out. Accountants are fantastic. I absolutely love my accountant. I give him all the paperwork and he does all the work. He is fantastic. You need to have a good accountant on your side. Lawyers are also great team members to have. Now, you don't necessarily need one to be on retainer, but it is a good idea to have the number of a lawyer just in case something happens. We looked at the first 3 ways of how to achieve financial freedom. Let's look at the 4th step, implementing your business. So, this is basically your homework. There's a few things I want you to do. So to implement what we've learned in this mini course, you need to start by going and checking out the investment calculators that's on my website, www.masterpassiveincome.com/calculators. If you go to that link, you're going to find many calculators that are going to help you figure out if a property is worth buying and how much money you're going to make. I specifically created these calculators to help investors like you and me to run all the numbers and make sure that we're going to make money. Second thing I want you to do is I want you to develop a mindset that is going to help you be rich. So go to my website. I have a book summary review of The Richest Man in Babylon. It was written many, many years ago. It's a fictional story that will help you learn how passive income will make you financially free. It's a fantastic book, and you can read my summary review at masterpassiveincome.com/Babylon. Another homework you have is to create a financial statement. So go to my website, masterpassiveincome.com/mini/mini, and download the financial statement worksheet. Now, this worksheet is going to help you figure out all your expenses, all your debt, all your income, all your assets, and basically sum it all together so that you can present it to any bank and they can see your financial history because they want to know how well you're going to be able to pay back the loan that you're borrowing from them. So go there, download the sheet, fill it out, and you'll have that in your bag so that when you go to get a loan, you'll have that right away. The last thing, I want you to go to www.zillow.com, Zillow.com. I want you to go there and look at your target area that we talked about in part 1 of this mini course. Look at the area, see what's for sale, get to know the numbers and get to know the properties in the area. You need to know what they're selling for, what they're renting for, the size of the homes. You just need to understand the market in order to jump into it because you don't want to buy poorly. In my opinion, when I bought my first property, I way overpaid, and so I should have known, but I didn't. I didn't know all this stuff. I didn't have somebody like me that was walking me through or teaching me every step of the way how to build a business and do it right. So that's your homework. Don't feel like it's daunting, but you got to remember, this is not a get-rich-quick scheme. This is something that's going to take time. It will get easier and easier as the years go by because you'll make more money from your passive income that you can put into buying more properties, which will help you to buy more properties and so on. But you need to be diligent and do the work because if you don't, nobody's going to do it for you. You got to make it yourself. So this concludes the Making Money with Rental Properties mini course, part 2. And I want to thank you so much for being a part of this mini course. I hope you've learned a lot and you've developed a lot of questions. If you have any questions, please go to my website, contact me. I'd love to hear from you. I have a contact form on there. You can send me a direct email. You can tweet me at MPI Dustin Heiner, and I'll get your tweet and I'll respond back to you. Another way you can contact me is by putting comments at the bottom of my posts, and I'll get back to you. I read all the comments that I get, and so I hope to hear from you. I want to help you out, and I hope everything's going to work well for you.
All right, we're all done. That was day 2 of our mini course, and I want to thank you so much for being a part of it. Now, this Making Money with Rental Properties mini course has had a lot of information for you, especially the 5 different ways that rental properties can make you money. It's just mind-blowing on how much return you can get for your money. But I want you to remember that I'm there for you, or my blog's there for you, masterpassiveincome.com, and my goal is to help you learn and be able to be successful in quitting your job because you have surpassed your earned income with passive income. So thank you so much for joining me for day number 2 of this mini course, and I hope you have great success in all your investing. And so stick along with us, www.masterpassiveincome.com, where you can master passive income so that your passive income surpasses your earned income. All right, guys, we'll see you later. I'll send you some more emails with the newsletter, and thank you very much for joining us.